Recording.
Okay, well, this is our Thursday morning business chat. And today our subject is going to be maintaining momentum in the holidays to start the year strong. And this is a time period where might take a little bit more effort to keep momentum going personally and organizationally with your team, but it's well worth it because if people will power through the holidays, just keeping, basic activities going, whether it's 3 a day and follow up, 2 a day and follow up. I hope that everyone on this call listening live or on the replay could at least do 1 a day and follow up, meaning putting one new prospect in motion that agrees to watch the video and maybe you're giving a patch gift to. You'll find that, that as we approach the end of the year, that last week between Christmas and New Year's, instead of being a slow week, might be one of your most active weeks because a lot of people have that time off and they're looking and thinking about new things to do in the new year. And you might have new team members and new customers joining you. So this is really a fallow ground opportunity in this window. So that's kind of what we started out talking about. And Stacy, you were inquiring about your new Chinese prospect. So congratulations. And, and thank you, John, for pointing out that we have the translation. We have the product data sheets available in many different languages in our back office.
Okay. And we also talked about this energy of momentum, this elusive energy is what we're all going for, because that's when things get really fun, is when your business has a life of its own. So we know that the company is in momentum, and this is one of the sweetest times ever to be involved in a networking company when it's on the rise. And as Gregory likes to say, in 2018, their total sales were $22 million, not quite 2 a month. And in the month of October, it was 18 million. And I want to thank each of you. For those of you that don't know, our team is about 10% of the entire company. And that's because of you guys.
But that's 9 times growth in 2 years from, 2018 to October 2019, monthly sales going from about 2 million a month to 18 million a month. We're in the right place, right time.
Yes. And so the
birth,
company,
birth of a giant.
yes, the birth of a giant is, we are witnessing and we're part of it. And the company has its momentum, but now what we have control of is our personal momentum that feeds into our team momentum. And so this is the time to do what Gregory is talking about, stay in constant, consistent motion throughout the holidays. Because you know what it's like, it takes, and Kai used this example on LifeWave Connect. And if you didn't see it, please make sure you watch the replay. That, what was it, 90% of the fuel is used on a plane when it's taking off. And so when we stop, it just takes so much more energy to get going. But if you keep things going, and it's so much easier to just add a little and watch the growth happen. So our personal momentum is what we have control of. And that comes from consistency. We never know, who that person is, or those people that are going to just get so excited and share with the world. We just don't know. But if you stay in motion, you will end the year strong, which means you're going to start the new year strong. And this concept is also good for your personal health, because a lot of people say, oh, wait till the new year. End the year really healthy, so you start the year with that momentum too. So we want to open things up and see if there's anyone else that wants to share about, what you're doing for your personal momentum. I don't know if Ravel is on this morning, but I invite everyone to read her post. Um, she put in our Facebook group. She is amazing because she is targeting very specific people that are totally aligned with what we have and having great success. So who wants to share what you're doing to grow your own personal momentum?
I'm sorry, Robin, who was that? Which post?
We post Revel, Roevel.
Thank you.
I invite everyone to look at it. This woman will go for anything, and Zena's shaking her head, right, Zena? Isn't she amazing? You're on mute, Zena.
Oh, she is absolutely amazing. She is.
You want to share?
And fearless.
She's fearless. You want to share briefly what she's doing?
Well, she just searches out all kinds of practitioners and picks up the phone and calls them. And she's really quite, they'll say, she'll say, is this a good time? And they'll say no. And then she'll say, okay, when's a good time? And they go, tomorrow. You know what I mean? So, because she's, you know what I mean? Like, she's talking, with confidence and authority, and they go, okay, yeah. So yeah, she absolutely, absolutely believes in the company, the product, the team, the support, everything. And she has no problem, going full blast ahead. She's fun.
Great.
Mhm.
Thank you. And yeah, she's bringing on amazing people because of it.
She
And
is.
yeah. So who's next? What are you doing, John?
So I've been, let's see, this will be weeks 5, 6. I've been doing trainings on Sunday and Thursday nights for my people. And they're not all my direct people, but they're in my group and focus strictly on skills, how to talk to people, how to set your goals, kind of like your grow session. And it's all strategic, because if you don't have a grow, if you will, if you don't know what you want, then you will fall off the wagon and not what Gregory is saying. The momentum will never happen, or it will happen in spurts, and then all the energy, and look, I'm living proof. I kind of fell off the wagon. The energy it takes to get restarted is way more. And then I'm gearing them up for a 90-day run, because January through January the 2nd starts the best networking time in the history of networking, for the, from January through April. And I'm not saying you work seven days a week, but if you choose to work 5 days a week, it's 90 of those days out. If it's 6 days a week, it's 90 of those days out. So, and then teaching them, expanding on your grow a little bit, where you have a daily mode of operation, where you have a daily grow. Okay, what are you going to do? And it's not all just business. It's family, it's spirituality, it's exercise, fitness, nutrition. It's not just one thing, because you can't just do LifeWave, or you'll just become burnout. It's got to be a combination. And finally, before the end of the year, we're all going to I'm going to have them do a vision board.
Nice.
Oh, wonderful.
So
Nice.
we'll this whole group will have vision boards. And so we'll see. That's what I'm doing, and I'm really gearing up. But my personal plan is to have the best December I've ever had.
Yay. We support that. Let's all do that. I was thinking momentum, an analogy of momentum is like, a water pump. You pump and pump and pump, because the water's down 100, 200, 300 feet. You're pumping, pumping, pumping. You got to keep pumping, pumping, pumping. And all of a sudden, the water starts going. But in that early stage, you're pumping, pumping, pumping. That's what it might feel like when you're getting your business going. Getting momentum, there's 3 aspects of momentum: getting it started, maintaining it, and accelerating it. Well, you can't maintain it till you get it started, and you can't accelerate it until you get it started. So, so I'd encourage everyone to just make a decision, because that's where all great things come from, is the decision that you're going to maintain, and some of you might be brand new and you're going to start momentum. And some of you might be around a while, have to restart momentum, because if you stop pumping, what happens? The water goes back down to the bottom and you got to start again. So wherever you are, if 2020 has been a rough year for all of us, for the planet. Let's face it, 2021's got to be better. And it could be everyone's best year yet, with LifeWave, with every other aspect of your life. but specifically as we're gathered together as a Life Ed community and an opportunity together, this concept of momentum, there's no better time to talk about it right now because there's no harder time to well, I won't say that. It's sometimes hard to maintain in the summer when everybody's got vacation on their mind. But this time between Thanksgiving and Christmas is one of the most difficult times to maintain momentum. But those that do will cross the finish line at the end of the year with it and start the year with it.
And one of the ways to really grow momentum during the holidays is it's the time so many of us reach out to people and that we haven't been in touch with for a long time, maybe a year, maybe more, and we have that yearly touch in.
Mhm.
Well, we're in a relationship business, so this is a great time to really put that list together. Whether not so many people do cards anymore, but some do, and so this is the time to put that list together. Who are those people that when you see their name, you just light up and you want to know what's going on with them and check in. I was reading some posts last night on Facebook from some old friends of mine when I lived in San Diego, and he just gave this long, update on the family and who's doing what and how proud he is. And it was just really sweet. And I just commented, and that kind of rekindled a relationship that I haven't had in a long time. So you just don't know and realize that we are in the relationship business. And as we say all the time, people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And so connecting with people, and as Phil Jones says, checking in, how you holding up, how you staying connected, how you keeping your immune system strong, how you holding up financially, but always ask about them and the family. And that opens up other things of them wanting to connect with you. So it's not always, you're going to patch them on the first call here or get something out to them, but you're going to connect. And building those relationships will turn into things over time. So I just invite everyone to really focus on your personal momentum. Some people call it filling the pipeline. When you're pumping, there's a pipeline that has to be filled. Some people call it the popcorn popping. Because in this business, in the early stages, you work a lot harder than what you're rewarded for. But later on, you hardly work and get well rewarded. So it's really the willingness as an entrepreneur to put in the time and effort it takes to get your foundation, get the pipeline full, get the popcorn popping, because then the rewards are there. And sadly, Gregory was talking, I think, on a training we did with one of the teams the other day. He goes, I want to make one suggestion, be here a year from now. And that is a brilliant, brilliant suggestion, because many times, like acres of diamonds, people give up right when they're right on the precipice of things opening up. So commit to be here a year from now. And I believe you're going to take the ride of your life, because this company is going for it. And, why not have them find out from you versus someone else? So who else wants to share? We got a few more minutes because we started late.
Could I, if no one has anything else, could I ask you to expand on that just a little? Because it's a very, very, very good point.
Which
And
one?
the one about getting started and basically taking massive action and that it takes on a life of its own at some point in time, which you and Gregory are at that point. And so would you just maybe for all of us address that even a little bit more detail, like what it took when you first got started and what it took in the first 3 months, the first 6 months, the first year, the first 15 months? Because I think it's really important for everybody to hear it, no matter how far each of us want to go.
Thank you, John. I think everyone has their own journey with this and their own relationship with the business. When I started, I did it my way, and I just couldn't not share. It was so deep within me, the belief about the importance. And as you've heard me say, the responsibility of letting people know But I just kept sharing and sharing and sharing. And then finally, I think everyone has heard the line. Gregory says, "You're having too much fun making too much money. I better join you." And, we had no tools. We had, we didn't have anything. So we had to kind of lay the ground in front of us and build the track. So we were busy in those early days creating resources and tools and building the community. And, Gregory said that when I was early on in network marketing, he says there's 3 reasons people join our business, the product, the opportunity, and the community. And I don't think we put a lot of attention on the community part. And I think we're realizing how incredibly valuable that is, especially right now that, we have people that we know and love and care about each other. Like we get to give extra love and support to Karen O'Neill right now because she's going through a hard time. And when both Gregory and I were going through our challenges, you guys were there for us. So, our path was really unique to us. And I think everyone's is unique to you, but the key is to keep the momentum going personally by consistent action. And I can't exactly say what I did on those months, but I didn't stop no matter what. I just didn't stop. And we had lots of challenges. And, as many of you know, in the early part of this year, it was really difficult for me, but we had enough momentum with 2 of us working full time that when it was down to 1 very part time, when I was being caregiver, the business continued to grow. But it takes time and you have to be willing to put in the time. That's why a lot of people don't have the thick skin it takes to be an entrepreneur, because it does take a lot to get things, the foundation laid for that growth to have a life of its own. So I don't think I answered your question, John, but I just had to tell you what was going on with us. And I think everyone's got their own journey. That the bottom line, consistency is the key. If we're consistent, it will happen. How long it's going to take, how many people, I know people that are working really, really hard right now, and they're a bit frustrated because they don't have the income that they want. They don't have the growth that, but I know it's coming, and I know it's coming really close. So just stay with it and be consistent, and you will watch your momentum grow.
Mhm.
Thank you. That was a perfect answer.
Not what you asked, but it's what I answered. Good.
That's okay.
Tina,
Thank you,
did-
Robin. That was awesome.
Thanks. Tina, did you want to share something? Oh, you're on mute. Tina, you're on mute if you wanted to share.
No, all I want to say is I'm awfully glad to be back, and it's good to share the momentum that you all have going. I've missed you all, and I think that you said community is really important, Robin. I've missed this community, so I'm happy to be back on board.
We're glad to have you back.
In your new
You always
home.
get the front
Yeah.
row seats. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else want to share? Okay,
I'll just say something that, something I learned in my early days in network marketing, and it proved to be so. It's a 2 to 5 year plan to financial independence and freedom, and that's for people that's starting at ground zero. Now, some people start above ground zero and they get there faster. Some people start below ground zero. It takes a little longer, but with persistence and consistency. So we've been at it 2 years, and it started out kind of gradual and subtle, but Robin became very evangelical about it. I think we all know that. It's like, that's why I surnamed the company Wife Wave, because I hardly saw her. I had to make appointments to talk to her because she's so enthusiastic about what we had. She was telling everybody, people she loved and cared for the most, she was telling about. She wasn't out looking for the biggest business builders. She was looking for people she loved and cared about the most. Some of them happened to be business builders too. So it worked out that way, but she just could not keep herself from sharing because the penny dropped and she knew what we had. And so, that belief, and Kai talked about it so wonderful, the 5 pillars that Kai talked about yesterday on the LifeWave Connect was beautiful. And the most important, well, they're all important. It's the 5 pillars of belief. And Robin definitely had the belief in the company, the product, the owner, and herself and everything else going. And very quickly, the belief in the compensation plan arrived because the checks started growing. That's when it affected me. It's like, this is really working. So
Yeah. And, I want to close with saying something. When I first started network marketing, I had no training. I had no support. I was overzealous. I thought I found, heaven. And what I said to people, I'm a relationship person. So when I look at this business, I look at who do I want closer in my life? Because if they're in my business, they're going to be closer in my life. And I went to the people that I most loved and cared about, and I looked them in the eyes, and I didn't know what I was doing, by the way. This just came out of me. And I said, I'm about to share take the ride of my life, and I want to share it with you. And they all signed up with the big package even. And I didn't know what I was doing. And so it's just, really being who you are and authentic, and realizing that what we have here is something so incredibly special. And I invite you to re-listen to that interview with Gregory on why LifeWave, why now, because it's more important than ever. We have the timing on our side. This is the sweet spot to bring people in when a company is at that early stage of hyper growth, and you can take a ride where a day's work is like a week is like a month is like a year. Because when you have a foundation in place and the company takes off, your growth is exponential. If you have one person in place and you double and triple and quadruple, then you have 4. But if you have 50 in place, add those numbers up. So this is a sweet, sweet spot, and, really connect with people right now and be consistent and watch the magic that will unfold, because the popcorn is ready to pop.
final comments from anyone before we close it out here today?
Yeah, I was just wanting to say, one of my habits is to go to the homepage and then scroll down and look at all the names of so-and-so just enrolled this customer, or here's a new business partner, and so forth. And
You
just
mean your back office homepage?
right on the homepage. And then, and then I just feel gratitude and send out thanks and,
Nice.
blessings, all that. And also like maybe a little congratulations to the person. Oh, I see you just enrolled a new preferred customer. Congratulations. Because everybody wants, love and appreciation. So I think nurturing people and appreciating people is really good. And then the other thing is like focusing on what we're doing is focusing on helping people become managers, right? Managers, make as many managers as you can, the most in the company, right? And that helps, of course, with momentum too. And then you're hooked in every day with the people that you know and love and are so grateful to work with. So besides, of course, our own one a day contacts, really helping everybody else do that, like be with them. So, and then asking them, what do you need? What could I do right now that would help you?
Thank
That's
you.
it. But thank you, everybody, too. I just love all my business cousins and all my
Yeah.
business partners and my upline.
Okay.
Anybody, any other final comments from anyone? If not, we'll call it a wrap. And blessings to all. Ho, ho, ho. And momentum in the holidays. Let's work on it. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Okay, see
Thank
you.
you.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.